down. I'm leaving out one of the Exodus, but they get the win 122 to 113. And we are here in the Paycom Center, and we're joined now by OKC's Alex Caruso, who coming off a playoff career high of 31 points. Today you had 17 points, but I'm curious what the mindset was for the entire team looking to tie this series up at 1-1.
Yeah, I mean, disappointing to lose, the first game at home. I just think we just didn't play our best. I don't think it was obviously Wemby played great. I had probably an above average game offensively for what I'm usually doing.
A what?
Average game offensively for what I usually do. I just think through the course of the game, we had lulls where we didn't right the ship fast enough, and I thought tonight we did a better job of getting back to how we're supposed to play.
Individually, how do you prepare yourself? Because you had a game this year where obviously San Antonio is going to have you pick your poison, and that poison was to leave you open, to leave Lou Dort open, and in a regular season game, you was 2 for 12.
Christmas.
So you know about it, right? So coming into this Western Conference, obviously, that's going to be the game plan. How do you get yourself ready to be confident to knock those shots down? Because it's going to be on you.
Just work, I mean, that's what this profession's about. It's about getting in the gym, putting the minutes in, and then being confident and trusting, what you do in the gym in the days between. And yeah, obviously disappointed early in the year. Teams do that because Shai's such a great player. You have to take something away from him, and a lot of times that falls onto me because I'm creating the action. So. Just being prepared and then being aggressive, and this time of year, man, you gotta let it fly.
Absolutely.
We know about your preparation, and you're willing to take on the challenge of anyone. What was your team's adjustment coming into Game 2, without giving away all of your secrets? But what was the big adjustment for you guys to pull off a win tonight?
Yeah, I think just being sharper with the stuff that we talked about before Game 1. There's just some stuff defensively where we were behind the play, and then all of a sudden, they're a good team. They got great players, and when you give guys advantages or you try to play behind them defensively, they're going to score and they're going to create challenges for you. So I think defensively trying to stay ahead of it, and then offensively, trusting what we did. We got a lot of great shots in the first game. Some that didn't go in. Some other stuff, I think like Hart rebounded his ass off tonight.
Yes, he did.
He really, late in the game, both ends created more possessions for us and stopped them from getting some. So, just little things through the game.
With your leadership and your experience on the road, winning on the road, winning in a hostile environment like San Antonio Spurs Stadium or arena, how do you prepare and what do you say to your young guys on the team who are going into this environment, that this is a different environment now that the Spurs is playing the way that they're playing? How do you get them to shift their mindset differently than you are here on your own home court?
Yeah, I mean, luckily a lot of these guys got a little taste of it last year with playing in Denver, Minnesota even. We lost by 40 in the one game we lost in Minnesota, even though we won in 5. So, there's plenty of lessons for us through that playoff run last year. And again, just reiterating stuff. You got to be connected. You got to have, almost amnesia with good plays for them. Block out the noise and focus on what matters, which is like the basketball part, like executing, making sure that you're competing at the right level, and then just understanding it's going to be a fight.
One thing we talk about your team all the time is the depth, and you got a lot of it. How do you guys manage it and keep the chemistry, maintain it throughout an entire game? And we saw completely different lineups, more players on the floor than we saw in Game 1. Just walk me through how you guys manage that as a team.
Yeah, I mean, iron sharpens iron. Through the course of the season, depending on who's in, who's out, who we're playing, we got different guys in different lineups that can, be beneficial for us. And all of our guys are hungry. They all want to win if they haven't been here before, and if they are, we want to win again. And whether that's personal achievements or team achievements, there's things that, for a lot of them, they're still at the beginning of their careers,
right.
So there's plenty out in front of them to go get. So. We just do a good job of just being very competitive day in, day out.
Hey, you're from College Station. You went to Texas A&M.
Was
that like, is that 3 hours away from San Antonio?
Yeah, it's like 3 and some change.
So how much family's going to be at the game?
245. Yeah, a lot.
245.
I did the math.
I got 2 hours, 45 minutes.
Oh, no, I thought you said 245 family members.
Oh, that's expensive.
I got a lot of friends in Dallas. I got everyone. They're not all going to be able to come, but
okay,
I'll be there.
Okay, one more question.
Matters.
Yeah.
Guarding Wemby. You took that on Game 1.
Yeah.
Just talk us through what it's like.
Yeah, it's a lot easier for me when he stands on the three-point line. Obviously, late in the game, they started to play him like a post player, and he got a couple of advantages that we just got a little uncharacteristically, antsy, trying to do too much, and you give him a crease inside 10 feet, it's just a dunk. So just trying to work work early, and I thought Hart did a good job of being physical and working early tonight. And then, when we had chances to put guards on him on the outside actions, I thought we did a pretty good job.
Yeah, well, we appreciate you stopping by. Alex Caruso, he was early, like he should be, okay? Back-to-back games with at least 15 points for the first time in his playoff career. And I guess we will see you in San Antonio, buddy, with however many family members decide to show up.
245.
I'm expecting 245 in the 8.
Way to hoop, man.
Yeah.
I just need the golf courses when we come back. You already know. I already told you.
So OKC gets the win. The loser, San Antonio Spurs, Victor Wembanyama, stepping up to the podium now to address the media.
What was it like for you guys, especially after you lose Dylan and now you're down 2 big ball handlers with him and Fox? What was the challenge like there, and how do you think you guys handled it?
Not well. We gotta help our ball handlers more and take care of the ball.
Obviously, without De'Aaron, it's going to lend itself to turnover issues, but are there other factors that you guys can shore up to try to cut down on?
Yeah, of course, just consistency throughout the game in our game plan. Can think of a few down moments for myself, especially in the fourth quarter.
Victor, you and Hartenstein had some huge battles on the glass there. He was able to win a lot of those. But what was that battle like for you, and what do you think you guys can do better to not lose that way?
As I just said, it's all in the scouting. I have to trust the scouting. We have to trust it and do our work early. It's it's a straight effort.
Victor, what would you say is the most frustrating thing about tonight's loss?
I would say it's spending so much energy on catching back up to the score and then let it go away.
Like when you say it's straight effort, is it that simple, or are there some tactical, strategic kind of adjustments you can make?
What I mean is straight effort is like the tactics, we all know it by heart, but we have to, doesn't mean it's easy, and we have to work through it.
Like, what did you think of Steph's performance tonight and the way that he played through physicality?
His competitiveness is unmatched, and we definitely need that. He gets us out of a lot of tough situations.
De'Aaron's the one that is kind of the guy that controls the offense and settles you guys down a lot of the time. Yeah. When you don't have him, when you don't have Dylan, what do you try to do to keep things organized, controlled, and settled down?
We didn't do a great job at it today, but we need some poise for sure. Taking care of the ball, helping the main ball handlers, and being aggressive just like we were in the third quarter.
Victor, when it comes to guarding Shea, obviously you guys did a really good job of that in Game 1, and he had more points tonight. Is there any kind of balance there between wanting to keep his numbers down and understanding that he's a good player, he's going to make shots regardless of what you guys are doing?
Yeah, he makes shots, but nothing that he hasn't made all season. So we worked on it, and we just didn't apply as much.
Well, one of the issues, certainly for the San Antonio Spurs, is over the last 2 games, they've had 44 turnovers. By the way, Stephon Castle, he's had 20 of those. That's the most since the stat was actually tracked in 1977 and 78 in 2 back-to-back playoff games. So that's something that they can clean up for sure. Obviously, Shea has a better game with those 30 points and 9 assists. And Wemby, coming off being the youngest player ever to have a 40-point, 20-rebound game, a little bit harder to get to his spots here tonight. Let's talk about what you guys thought in Game 2.
Well, I thought the pressure and being intentional on being physical with him, pushing him out, making him work for everything. He looked tired tonight, right? Honestly, playing 49 minutes in Game 1, he really looked tired tonight. You could tell he was struggling a little bit. But I thought Hartenstein did an amazing job on applying the pressure, making him work for everything, wearing him out, because he know he played 49 minutes. And I just thought his strength, his brute strength in pushing Wemby kind of really enhanced that a little bit more. So great game plan, rightfully so.
Yeah, the physicality for me is what I thought wore him down while he was tired. Constantly fighting, trying to block shots while an arm being held, trying to get rebounds, trying to get position, while going on the other end, defending, so on and so forth. So, yeah, the game plan was just that. if Wemby's going to be dominant, he's going to have to find the energy to do so while being hit around, knocked down with the physicality. And I think they figured something out tonight where it wore him down to where it just wasn't enough. He couldn't get it done.
And I think Wemby hit them first in game one, and they didn't have a chance to kind of hit back. Game two, I thought OKC from the jump had a game plan. Shout out to Coach Dago, too, for making those adjustments and showing Wemby those bodies, but also going back to Isaiah Hartenstein right, and saying, this is your task, this is your assignment. And he stepped up to the task today. They had Wemby, again, frustrated out there trying to figure out ways to get through the defense, ways to figure out the adjustment. But this is what happens. San Antonio hit first, OKC hit next. 1-1. Now we go back to San Antonio. Now it's a series now. This game 3 is a major game.
Yeah, hey, we keep talking about it, but it's just the 7th time it's ever happened. We got 2 teams with at least 62 wins in the regular season, so we know it was going to go blow for sure. Y'all talked about Isaiah Hartenstein. He played 27 minutes in this game, only 12 in game 1. Also, injuries did impact the game. Dylan Harper, we saw him go out about 4:50 left in that second quarter. J-Dub plays 7 minutes and 18 seconds. Remember, didn't come in during the second quarter and didn't return to the game dealing with a left hamstring injury, so we'll keep an eye on those things. But you challenged Chet before this game, so let's talk about what you saw from him in game 2.
Yeah, so I thought he was a little bit more aggressive today, right? And they needed that with J-Dub going down. And here's Chet right here on the defensive side of the ball, just being aggressive, right? Keeping Wemby in front to contest that shot right there on the block shot. And here, floor spacing, confident, knocking down a 3 right there. Right here, right? Wemby has his eyes on the ball. He creeps behind the defense, gets a wide open alley-oop right there. I just thought his activity was a little bit more with pace today with the Euro and 1. He got 10 shots up, 13 points tonight. I like his activity. I need him to do more. J-Dub is out, so he's going to have to do more in game 3. But it was a good start after, such a pedestrian game in game 1.
8 points in game 1. And by the way, we saw a little bit of motion. There was like one play. He gave us the usual Chet swag we were kind of used to seeing.
That's what we were talking about in the locker room. Like he got a play, and then he just walked to the free throw line. No emotions or anything. Then he got a big play, and we wanted to see the emotions. We wanted to see that. That's who you are, Chet. Don't let nobody take that away from you.
Okay, get into the turnovers, okay? Because I know that's what you want to talk about. So get into it, VC.
That is a concern for me. Now, I mean, not just Castle. Yes, Castle now has 20 turnovers for 2 games. 43 turnovers in 2 games is a concern because if you're going to play against a championship squad like OKC, I'm not going to say you have to play perfect basketball, but you can't give them that many opportunities and possessions. You can't have wasted possessions against a team like this, particularly in their building. Usually you get away with that at home, but now you're not getting shots. They've been dominating OKC on the board. So at the end of the day, you just want to get a shot up to give yourselves a chance to get an offensive rebound, to get open threes, because when they get those opportunities, usually you get made threes. So that is a concern to me. I hope they're able to clean that up in game 3. If not, they're going to see somewhat of the same type of defense. Their activity, I think, bothered them to where they were rushing and trying to make plays that probably was not there.
I think the defense, you're going to see another level to OKC defense on the road. I think they figured some things out defensively. Isaiah playing the way that he played today against Wemby and against the Spurs allows OKC to relax and settle down. Chet, his pickup point, right? He was picking up Wemby almost at half court at the hash mark. So for him not to let Wemby get a full head of speed, size you up, and do anything he wanted to do, I thought Chet made a great adjustment when it came to just picking the pickup point with Wemby when he come down the court.
Listen, a big difference in the game, like you said, Chet, the way that he stepped up and the way the Spurs have turned the ball over. They've given up 55 points off of turnovers so far through 2 games, in this series. All right, Mark Dagnall, he's the guy who made the adjustments. He's the guy that got the win in game 2. He's at the podium right now talking to the media.
Talked about efficiency offensively, not just being shot making, but shot locations, assist to turnover. What did you make of the efficiency you had on offense generally tonight?
Yeah, we're a lot better, obviously. I thought some of that was just us playing better. We just didn't play a great game there tonight. Some of that stuff, just watching it on film, you're sitting there like, if we say nothing and do nothing, we'll just play better. And then I did think we got some fundamentals in the game that are critical against this team. and it gave us some cracks. I just thought the overall flow tonight, rhythm, was really good. Put everybody at advantages. We had our foot on the gas. It was a real positive game in that respect.
Mark, can you talk about the decision to have Isaiah on Wemby? And it worked great. He was good on both ends. But just what did you see out of that, and how did you see that defensive assignment lining up for you guys?
Well, I thought the other night and in the regular season, having wings on him was effective in the macro. The other night he just had way too much of the restricted. But if you zoom out, they turned the ball over a ton. That we gave up 101 points in regulation. They actually shot pretty well for the quality. The quality of shots were what we would want, other than his stuff at the rim. But two things that just didn't feel good were his stuff at the rim. Just felt too sustainable. And so we have to make some corrections there. It won't be the last time we have a wing on him. We had wings on him a couple possessions tonight. And then the other thing that doesn't feel good is playing Hart 12 minutes. It just didn't feel good to me. But in order to get him extended past that, that's the matchup. And so we decided to start with it. It's never going to be like predetermined that we would do that the whole game. Obviously, Dub going out impacted that too because he's a matchup. So that option was off the table to a degree. We could do Kenrich, but I just didn't feel good about doing that one cold tonight. And Hart was doing great. So that was the thinking in that decision.
With Wemby, seemed like you guys put him in a lot more actions tonight. How much of the game plan was to just make him work a lot more than the other night?
It wasn't a primary thing. I think the bigger emphasis was just like our tempo on offense generally. And if we play with a good tempo, then we're going to get, multiple people in actions on multiple possessions, and they're going to have to work harder collectively. And I thought that's what we got going tonight. So the guys did a great job. We had great juice, great bounce back from a game that was obviously a very emotional, tough game, tough way to lose in game one, and did a great job tonight.
Mark, right here. Obviously, Dub played 38 minutes the other night, had a month off. You lose him tonight after the first quarter. Is him not playing the rest of the series, is that on the table? Like, what's your concern level right now?
He's going to get checked out. I don't deal in like hypotheticals, especially when like doctors are involved. I just let them tell us what's going on. So he'll get checked out in the morning. We'll see where he's at. We'll update accordingly.
Just a quick second one. These are my words, not yours, but it's starting to feel like Shea's game ones are kind of just feel-out games. What do you see change for him tonight in terms of processing, and how much of that was just him recognizing what happened the other night?
Yeah, as a build on what we talked about last game, with him and everybody, I thought globally if our offense was better, everybody would benefit from that, and I thought he benefited from that tonight. That's when you were the one that asked the question the other night about him, and I was saying, like, we have to do a better job, of getting him in advantageous situations, and I thought we did that tonight with the way we ran offense. And then he played better, and there's that part too. So I thought we all played better, and I had a quiet confidence about that. I didn't know if we'd win or lose the game, but I was pretty sure after watching game one and knowing our team that we were going to come out and play better tonight.
All right, Coach Dagnall and OKC now 8-0 coming off a loss in the playoffs. That dates back to last season. Oh, there's the emotion we were talking about, Chet.
There we go.
We found it. We saw it once in this game. He had 13 points, and OKC gets the win 122-113. We'll be right back.
And why you could not return to the game?
I have not had an update. Just, excuse me. Just know he went out when he took an awkward landing. I guess I don't even know if he fell, but that awkward landing. And I just heard he wasn't coming back. I haven't got an update yet.
It seems pretty obvious, but down Fox, then Harper's out. What kind of pressure does that put on the rest of your backcourt in a game like this?
A ton. Obviously this team is as good as anybody at turning you over. So when you're down some of your primary creators and initiators, it causes a little bit of an extra strain, whether that's who to play, what to run, et cetera, et cetera. And we'll just have to be sharper in that area because it's tough, fully loaded against these guys. So we obviously 27 points off turnovers is not a winning formula.
Mitch, we hadn't talked to you since the announcement about Fox pregame. Is that a situation where It's like you said before the game. It's going to be the world you're living in now. But is that a situation where he could have played if you pushed him today, or I guess how serious is that injury?
Honestly, he's just trying to play every day. It's a tough injury that he wouldn't be playing with in the regular season, so he's trying to tough it out, and he did that in Minnesota, and then had an awkward landing, and so he re-aggravated it, and we just got to make sure that he's in a place that he can be out there and compete to the level that he would need to in the game that we're playing.
And then I guess as a corollary to those two questions, Steph is...
And be able to give us some quality minutes, and then as you do get tired and the physicality heightens and the intensity is ever so present, you got to execute. And so there's something there where there's a mental, a physical, and an emotional challenge, I guess you could say. And you have to be able to do that in the micro every possession, and then in the macro in terms of the totality of how you have a disposition and work a game for 48 minutes.
On that note, Coach, what did you see from Jordan tonight, the way that he was kind of thrown into the fire? You mentioned just giving good minutes and spurts wherever he can.
Yeah, Jordan's done that for us all year. He's done a great job of being ready when his name's called. Very smart basketball player, knows how to execute and give us toughness, and he was great for us tonight.
All right, well, you heard Coach say it. Dylan Harper left the game in the third quarter, and also De'Aaron Fox missed the first two games of this series. But Game 3 coming your way as the series is tied 1-1. We're headed over to San Antonio. That'll be coming your way on Friday at 8:30 Eastern on NBC and Peacock. We can't wait to get there. It's going to be another fiesta night for us. Meanwhile, yesterday, some news breaking. The Mavericks announced they were parting ways with Jason Kidd after 5 seasons as their head coach. Now, this comes after a season in which Dallas finished 26-56, just the Mavs' second 50-loss season since 2000. And in a statement, newly hired team president Masai Ujiri saying, "We believe this is the right moment for a new direction for our team." Let's take a look at the last 5 seasons for Jason Kidd. He led Dallas to the playoffs twice, including a finals appearance in 2024, but they missed the playoffs in each of the last 2 seasons. So my question for you guys is, one, did you see this coming when you knew that Masai was hired, and what do you expect to happen now moving forward for Dallas?
No, I didn't see this coming, but I'm not surprised. You know, when you get in that position, you want to bring in your regime, you want to bring in your staff, because this is a new direction that you're trying to take the organization in. So not a surprise, but, you know, when you look at Masai's history, he's been building teams to win championships. Right. And he has a cornerstone in Flag that he could work with. Now it's like finding that coach that can, you know, come in and put, you know, a system together, put a coaching staff together to get behind them and see if they could build for the championship. And I trust Masai will do that. Jason Kidd's going to be fine. He's a great basketball mind. A lot of players relate to him. He's a player's coach. He's going to be fine in finding a job. It's going to be interesting to see who the next hire is and what direction they go in.
It's, I mean, to his point, I was surprised that this actually happened, the firing. But again, Masai coming in, this is a sign of him just, it's his strategy, it's his way. You brought me in here to right this ship, or to bring a championship mindset here. And there's no disrespect to J. Kidd. This is business. This is what happens. And I have to show that this is mine now. I'm in charge of this. I don't need the coach in charge. I don't need a coach trying to get to the front office. I'm in charge. I'm going to make this move. J. Kidd's going to be good. J. Kidd's going to get a coaching job. He's going to be somewhere. That $40 million is looking good.
Just signed a contract
if he want to coach,
yes,
right?
in October. He'll be owed that.
He's going to be. J. Kidd will be okay. But this, to Masai, this is a move that Masai makes to show that this is the situation I'm in, and I'm here to make change and put a championship team together.
Agreed. Definitely surprised. I thought J. Kidd did some very good things for Cooper's development. You know, they were both put in the fire in the beginning about putting him in the position he did. Well, at the end of the season, we got to see his growth to becoming, obviously, Rookie of the Year.
Yeah.
Right.
J. Kidd historically has just been great for young guys and for teams. And, you know, like you both said it best, and I'm just kind of reiterating it. You know, Masai coming in said, hey, I want to give us a new look, a new direction. And I think He has to get this right.
Yeah.
He has to get this right because right now Cooper is ascending, and he's playing with a lot of confidence. So now the coach that comes in has to continue developing him to now making him a perennial all-star.
Yeah.
But also, can I say something? Which with J. Kidd and Cooper, right? I'm sorry, sis. with J. Kidd and Cooper, J. Kidd put that battery in Cooper back. J. Kidd allowed Cooper to go play point guard and throw him the ball as a rookie. So what we've seen throughout this Rookie of the Year season, a lot of that is because of J. Kidd and how he envisioned Cooper coming into this league and being effective. So I don't know how whoever's coming there have to, like you said, develop Cooper, work with Cooper, but also have to understand the personnel of Cooper, right? What is his development? What do he need to work on? What do he need to do? And I think Masai would do that. Masai did this in Denver when I was in Denver. He came in and he kept George Karl, though, right? And then he kept Dwayne Casey in Toronto. So this is new for Masai, making this move so quickly like that. So we'll see what happens. I don't know what's going to happen, but for Masai to make that move, I think it's just him letting everybody know I'm in charge, and this was what's needed to be done.
Yeah, I mean, what Jason Kidd with Cooper Flag, his Rookie of the Year, is kind of what I've been doing all year with these rookies here. That's why he asked for permission to speak just now. But I've been putting the battery in their back and making sure, they know exactly what they're supposed to do and say when they're supposed to do it. And I'm proud of you guys because you're in postseason shape. They did. That was impressive.
Because you're in postseason shape.
Okay, let's go back to the podium. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander coming off a 30-point game and a win in Game 2.
What did you like best about just kind of the tempo and pace? It seemed like the results from an efficiency standpoint, both the shooting and the assist-to-turnover ratio was really high tonight.
Yeah, we honestly speaking, I think we just did a better job of attacking them. In the first game, I still feel like we got like really good looks. They just didn't go down. But I guess just got a little bit more comfortable with their type of defense. Obviously, it's very unique and different from literally every other defense in the league, so it takes some getting used to. But we're still going to have to keep getting better throughout this series if we want a chance to win the series. Really good team, really good defensive team, really good. They check all the boxes, so we're going to have to continue to get better. Tonight wasn't good enough to win the series, and we know that, so we'll take the W, but we got to keep getting better.
Shai, these are right here. These are my words, not yours, but it's starting to feel like game ones are sort of your feel-out game. What changed for you from the other night to tonight?
Nah, I just have sucked when I get too long of a break. I don't think it's anything other than that. I don't know. I guess I got to do a better job with my breaks, especially during the playoffs. I don't know if it's anything other than that, to be honest.
Yeah, and I think it was with like 42 seconds left, you hit that midi that you were trying to hit for like 2 minutes straight, and you told the guys around you, like, calm down. You said it explicitly, but calm down. What'd you feel in that moment to tell them that?
Nah, Jared was yelling at me while I was shooting, and I was just like, bro, I'm shooting. Like, don't distract me. So, yeah, that's all I wasn't telling the guy. I was literally just telling Jared to calm down. But that's what great shooters do, let you know when they're open, so. Yeah, we hashed it out. We're good.
Shai, Mark was kind of saying there was an element of just playing better to get the result in Game 2. For you personally, when you talk about learning what the breaks have maybe looked like for you, what was the last 48 hours like in your head coming into this game, knowing what you needed to do?
Yeah, like this late in the season, like it's nothing special that you can do. Like, every team has their identity, and when they impose their identity more than the other team does, they usually win, no matter what level or what stakes are in the game. And tonight we just did a better job of that than we did in the first game, and that's probably why we came out on top. Now the circumstances change and force you to focus on your identity more. And I think tonight we just had no chance but to play to our strengths, or else just to give ourselves the best shot to win tonight. And that's something like you go back and forth with in the playoffs. Like, just like naturally speaking, waking up this morning, we were probably more desperate than they were. Like just naturally, because we had to get this game or else we'd go on the road down 0-2. So yeah, some of it was that, but nonetheless, you still have to go out there and do the job, and I think the guys did that.
Shay.
Finals game 2. Obviously, it was the Cavs who had a colossal collapse, or JB who had a tremendous rise to ascension, whatever you want to call it. What do you expect to see in game 2, Carmelo Anthony?
I expect Cleveland Cavaliers to make an adjustment, obviously. This is a desperation game for Cleveland. I think if they go back to Cleveland 2-0, it's going to be a different story. I think the Knicks' confidence is going to continue to grow. The Knicks like to win on the road, so we'll see what happens with that. But JB got to be JB, obviously. He got to continue to hunt James Harden, continue to hunt the mismatches on against Cleveland. And Cat, I want to see what Cat do. I want to see what game Cat brings tomorrow and what adjustment he's going to make towards Cleveland adjustments. Let's not forget, Cleveland was up 22.
Absolutely.
Yeah, right.
So Cleveland is feeling good about going into game 2 because they had that lead, a 22-point lead.
I'm gonna be honest. I don't think Cat is gonna have a phenomenal series, and here's the reason why. Because you got 2 guys that are mobile, long, right? And for Cat, he has to have that separation. He can't get separation from these guys unless Mike Brown comes up with, some schemes where they could get him off his body. But these guys are long, lanky. They alter shots, and for Cat, it's can he get 2 feet in the paint and finish over these guys? I don't think he can do that. But can he be a floor spacer, right?
So we talk about things that we wanted to see from Cat and during the season, Evan Mobley, Jalen Duren. What is Cat's adjustment in this series? If you're saying that he's not going to have that impact on this series, what can he do to have an impact on this series?
Facilitate.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think facilitating early, getting guys going, where now that big either has to get up to not to allow easy passes
That's
or
what I was
sit
about
back
to say.
in the
He's
passing
gonna
lane.
have to get up to not allow those
Just
easy
the
passes. Yeah.
Now you take advantage of that by when he gets up, put the ball on the floor, be aggressive, and do it when he does to draw fouls.
Yeah.
That's one of the, I think, adjustments, or that's one of the ways he can kind of get himself in it. But early, Cat just has to be patient, and just let it happen when it's time. When it calls for it, be aggressive. And I think that's one of the toughest things to do when you have success and you can score the ball, but
that's the
a
thing.
good defensive team is taking that away. That's what happens in the playoffs. Well, what works for you is you've gotten other guys going.
Yeah.
If they get going, it will eventually open up for you. But
I also want to see Shamet. I want to see Landry Shamet play a little bit more earlier in the basketball game because he spaces the court. You have to pay attention to Landry Shamet out there. And if Cat, you're going to be a passer in game 2 or in this series, you need to find Landry Shamet. He moves well without the ball. He gets open. He know how to get open. So you have to really pay attention to Landry. I would love to see Landry play a little bit more earlier in the game.
And on Cleveland's side, it's James. You don't have to be the old James in terms of scoring the ball, right? You can have a line where you have 12 points, 1 or 2 turnovers, but your assist rate has to be high, right? So your facilitating, to me, is what you need to concentrate on. You have a guy that can give you 30 or 40 if need be, that can match Jalen Brunson. If the game is close, Jalen Brunson has shown you that he could close out games, but so has Donovan Mitchell, right? So I look at game 1, they can't have a replica of that. James Harden has to take care of the ball first half, pretty much all game, and then leave the scoring to Donovan. He cannot be deferring late in that game to James Harden. He cannot be doing that.
No fourth quarter meltdown.
No.
You can't be up 22.
Shooters shoot, Strus, those guys, they have to shoot.
Keep going. They want us to go. Keep going. Close us
I
out.
also think a tendency adjustment needs to be made because JB was able to get left. When he's blowing by, he either gets points or open threes.
Don't be giving the recipe. BC, come on. Don't be giving the recipe. Maria, take us home.
Vince said I'm back, and I'm getting the last word, okay?
Vince,
good to have you back here for game